It was good. It's your boy Remy Real Cousin and Ruckus. And today I want to make a quick video basically talking about like nobody's perfect, right? As humans, right? We all have parents, obviously. How the hell we get here if we didn't? So we all have parents, grandparents, old aunts, uncles, guardians, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? It's different for different people. So the people who raised you, you know what I mean? Obviously, they're not perfect. They make mistakes. You know what I mean? They have flaws. They're human. You know what I mean? At what age do you then now pay attention, start to pay attention, realize these flaws, and then when do you start to realize the flaw? When do you start to realize the flaws as flaws? One, and two is, did you pick it up? Two, and if you did, how do you now undo that? You get what I mean? Like, how do you unlearn that flaw that you picked up from an adult, parent, someone you looked up to? It doesn't have to be necessarily a parent. It could be an older brother, older sister. It could be an older cousin. It could be a older friend, a mentor, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So all that being said, I was just thinking like, how often do you look to your elders, not just for advice and for leadership and for thing, but to see the flaws that they've made, so you can see if you picked them up, and if you did, how to combat those flaws so you could be the better version of them. Like Ultron said in the movie, that we have kids just to take our places, but it's just like, for example, my parents had these flaws. I would hope to better become a better version of my parents where I don't have these flaws anymore. Granted, I'm still gonna have flaws, but when it comes to my kids, my daughter and my son, they're not gonna have the same flaws that I have or my grandparents had. They're gonna have a whole new, brand new set of flaws that their children are gonna have to, you know what I mean? But generation by generation, we're gonna break all the generational curses, and we're gonna be slowly but surely getting better and better each generation. It's a time where it's like 3, 4, 5 generations down the line. There's no emotional baggage, trauma, um, what's it called? Karma in our bloodline. You know what I mean? So it's just like, for example, like slavery, we were taught to whip our children. I don't know if we would have thought if we didn't whip our children back in Africa. I don't know history well enough, but whoosh, you know what I mean? We learned that through slavery. You know what I mean? So now that I'm now choosing not to whip my children, my parents whip me. I'm choosing not to whip my children. I do pop them every now and then, but ass whooping. I don't do that with my kids. I'll break that generational curse. You know what I mean? So then with my child, the generational curse that they're gonna have to break is stop yelling or become a better communicator, to the point where it's like with my grandchild and my children, they're never gonna have to worry about getting their ass whooped, and they're gonna be working on the communication with their child, so they'll be better at parenting their child than I was at parenting them. So it's just like, when, what age? I think it's 18, but some people will be 21. I think the realistic age is 25, when you stop or become your own person, man or woman, and you start to look at your parents and see them for who they really are. You know what I mean? As a grown up, as a child, you see them as gods. You see them as kings and queens. You see them as your alpha and omega. They're the beginning and the end. But as we get older and we start to understand stuff at a deeper level, we understand that they are flawed. And it's not like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? It's like, oh, you're human. You did an amazing job as a parent. You did an amazing job as a big brother, cousin, whatever, the mentor. But I picked up this bad habit from you, and I'm realizing this. So now what I'm gonna do is combat that bad habit, so I don't pass it on to the next generation. That makes sense. All that being said, that's all I want to say. It's your boy Renewal, closing that motherfucking ruckus, and I'm out 2 times. Peace. Bitch. Now I can go back to my regularly scheduled programming.